Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. It is, oh gosh, let's see. I can't see very far. 1:54 on Sunday, February 22nd. And I wanted to do a reading for you today on Nancy Guthrie. Lighting a candle. This is a lavender candle, just for peace and purity. And we're gonna relight that red candle as well, just for a little energy. Never hurts, never hurts. Okay. Well, I have a little mouse with us today, a little mousey with this is a fairy godmother mouse. And I have smoke cleansed everything today. I'm going to be using the Rider-Waite. I'm wearing citrine today. This is kind of a big door knocker ring, but I do love citrine. Citrine is to help cleanse out negativity. So that last reading was really something else, wasn't it? I don't get psychic hits like that all the time. Thank goodness I don't, but it does happen every once in a while. So I am what's known, I guess, in psychology, maybe pop psychology, as a highly sensitive person. I was born that way. My mom said she had a hard time taking me into busy places, or if people wanted to look at me too much, I became kind of fussy and difficult. Just a very kind of sensitive person. And I think it's a natural variant. I think it's a natural human variant. If you think about deer in a field, and there'll be one or two deer that stand at the edge, and they will alert the other deer if they sense any change in the wind, or something piques their interest. They will alert the other deer. And I think that's kind of like what I am, and like what other people are that are highly sensitive people. That's just who we are and how we're wired, and it's kind of a natural variant among human beings or among groups. So thankfully, though, I don't usually get images that strong. So I wanted to talk today about the perpetrator in this crime. I wanted to talk about that. And it has become glaringly obvious to me that somebody in this, one of the perpetrators, at least one of the perpetrators, I think there are two main perpetrators. I wouldn't be surprised if this act was carried out by just one person. In fact, I know that people have been saying, oh, there's two people that were there, there's three people, all this stuff. Well, that's not necessarily true. I'm seeing one person at the scene, and I'm seeing two people involved. There may be a third person. I'm not saying there isn't a third person, but when I look at this psychically, I'm mostly seeing one perpetrator. I'd like to say something about the guy at the door. The so-called Nest camera footage. I've been struggling with that Nest camera footage since it aired. Something about it does not seem correct to me. This is a case of, I want your money. I don't know how else to say it. And I've said this from the beginning, and I haven't wavered a whole lot from this. This is a case of vultures that gather. Vultures, vultchers, vultures that gather. It's difficult. I think the FBI has a history of staging things and putting out, for lack of a better word, BS to the public. Absolutely. They're like thespians, you know. I think I'm going to be a little bit unedited today, you guys, so I apologize for that. But I saw some things so clearly in my cards. I did a little preliminary reading up to starting to film, just because it helps me to warm up. And it helps me to clarify what it is I'm seeing and thinking. So what am I saying as part of my goal to be clear and concise on my channel? I'm not entirely sure that the powers that be didn't put out that Nest camera footage just to throw the press and the public a bone. I know, it's an outrageous thought. It's an outrageous thought. But if they can do away with public figures in front of our very eyes and then create a whole story about it, I wouldn't necessarily say that they couldn't create a 5-second film to throw us all for a loop or give us all something to talk about. That said, I can't be sure. It seems as though people are really taking that camera footage very seriously. And perhaps it should be. You know, I'm a tarot reader. I'm not a criminal profiler. I'm not working on this case. So I just will say that there are some aspects about that footage and the release, the timing of the release of the footage, that caused me to say, I wonder what it is that the public knows versus what the investigators are really working on. And keep in mind that if they go around seeking information about things that were purchased at Wall M, the major chain store Wall M, if they go around to different Pew Pew stores seeking information, that could all be very legitimate. But it might not necessarily be based off of that camera footage. And I know that some of you will disagree with me, and again, I want to state that I'm not planting my flag on that and saying that I won't vary. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there were things about that footage that felt strange to me. Okay, it felt strange. Could it be that they wanted to tie up the press and stop the rampant speculation? Could it be that they had a pretty good idea of what happened from the very beginning, but they need time to put that all together? And that with the enormous and perhaps unexpected fascination and focus on this case, law enforcement, FBI had to come up with a plan to abate the public, abate the press, titillate the press. Could it be that they threw out an offering to keep their case pure, the Hierophant, to keep people from peering in the window that they didn't want them peering into? Here's something, go chase this, go follow this. There's going to be 1,000,001 stories on this, but does it have anything to do with reality or with the case? Again, I can't be 100% sure. But what I am seeing is that it is very clear to me that this case is close to home. It's very clear. They needed more time. They needed more time. They needed eyes off of them. You know, I don't know. There's some things that I really question about this case. Why wasn't there a massive, massive search for Nancy almost from the get-go? My little girl's leaning. My little mousy girl's leaning. Why wasn't there a massive search from day one? Or not day one, but you know, right away. Why? Why wasn't there a massive search? You know, I get that maybe the first week you want agents out in the field collecting information, but could it be they had more knowledge about a vehicle taking her away? And they needed more time. They knew that she had been taken somewhere. They knew maybe who had done it, or they have an idea about who had done it. You know, it's difficult when you have somebody that's embedded in the community and that people like, and that people are going to rally behind and say, this individual could never do this. This individual isn't a part of this. But I'll tell you, the perpetrator knew about occult practices. In my opinion, either the perpetrator or one of the people who perpetrated this crime knew about paganism, probably followed paganism. It's become very apparent to me. Perhaps that individual, maybe a female of interest, had grown really sick and tired of her life the way it was. Maybe the person that she was with romantically had threatened to leave her. Maybe she knew that wealth could be the one thing that could keep her beloved with her, keep the outside wolves at bay, and give her what she wanted. Maybe this person that she was with was becoming more and more distant from her. She was sensing there were some things going on behind her back that she didn't like. How can I save this? How can I save this relationship? My life is in crisis. The devil, generosity, giving. Could this be a case of somebody who was being generous and it turned into a bad thing? And the more that generous giver learned about what was going on behind the scenes, the less they liked it. And the more this came out, the more they saw the negative entanglements. And there was somebody who didn't know. There was a Queen of Wands in this situation that didn't know. It's almost as if she was asleep to the whole thing. She didn't realize all this stuff was going on. Here these are some of the closest people in the world to her, and she doesn't know all this stuff is going on. She's several states away, and she doesn't realize it. You have a friend showing up there. What's that friend gonna do? What's the friend gonna say? Friend is unstable. Friend is living paycheck to paycheck. But the friend is also greedy and dark. I'm telling you, I don't know that I could swallow it or believe it if the press starts telling us that this was a stranger danger situation. I just don't see it. I see this as being extremely close to home. There's a King of Wands showing up. Boy, he has a lot of resources, sunshine, energy around him. And some people don't. Some people are on the outside looking in. I told you this is about jealousy. It's about desperation. It's a plan that was planned, but it was not executed very well that night. The sun and stars might have been telling a story that one of the perpetrators wanted to hear, but nonetheless, there's a balancing that has to occur. You can do terrible things under the guise of religion, but nothing stops the balancing that has to occur in the universe. Don't ever forget that. Okay? Strength. Overflowing goodness. Romance. This is going to solve all our problems. Neither one of us has much of a conscience. And we're sick of all this. We're sick of pretending to be people we're not. This is going to solve all our problems. Our romance is going to come back. Overflowing riches, overflowing goodness. You can do whatever you want, honey. You can do whatever you want. Just keep me on your team. Keep us together. She's up high somewhere. She's at an altitude. If nothing less, she's She's up at an altitude. And, you know, you can think you've gotten away with something, but boy, that justice will come in and get you. I don't know that we're going to be able to find any worthwhile remains after that vision that I had. Maybe that vision was just a vision of stress. That can happen. I certainly wouldn't stake everything on psychic insight. I myself am very, very psychic, and it varies. It's even some of the best psychics will tell you this. You have to work. Psychic visions and psychic insight is one tool. It's one tool in the toolbox. You don't want to stake everything on it, but I'll tell you, from what I saw, I don't know that there's going to be a whole lot to bring back home. Money, money, money. King of Pentacles. Money, money, money. Trying to overcome them struggles in life. Overcome those struggles. How can we do it? How can we make this all work? I have a plan, but it's not an imperfect plan. I have a plan to overcome our struggles, but it's not a perfect plan. Tower, that's been showing up the last few days. That makes me nervous. What is it? You know, what's going on with this Tower? Ooh. The past rears its ugly head. Could even come in the form of song lyrics. Could even come in the form of written words that have been spoken. But the past can come back around and show patterns that illuminate mysteries. There's our Lovers. Money, money, money. Ace of Pentacles, give me money. I've got money problems. The Moon. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. This is why I'm saying, you know, forgive me for speaking about the FBI like they're a bunch of thespians. But I wonder, because sometimes the things that they're putting out and the footage doesn't seem real to me. Because everything that I'm seeing is very clear what this endeavor was for. Looking for that coinage. It couldn't be clearer. Could not be clearer. Every reading I do. Ace of Swords. That means it's clear as it gets. Mentally. Mental clarity. Boom. Well, you guys, I think I'm going to end it there. I'll tell you, just be vigilant about what you see put out in the media. Don't be afraid. Don't let this take over your life. Don't forget to breathe. No, don't. And do you, and be happy. And don't forget to say kind and loving things to yourself. And don't drink coffee before bed. Okay, bye.